Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Snazzy Comments, and this is the first one being back at university. Yes, I'm in my new accommodation. Very exciting stuff. Excited for the new year, and well, excited to see where the channel goes in this time as well, because, well, most of my YouTube channel time was spent while I was at university, so it's interesting to see how it will go this time around. Hopefully, it will continue to grow and prosper in these times. Anyways, welcome back to another episode. I just wanted to get some things out of the way. Yes, we did have our first live stream on Saturday, which was nice, and I will try and make it an every Saturday thing. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go so far, but yeah, I'm going to try and make it an every Saturday thing. We'll see how it goes, but it's meant to be after I finish work on the Saturday, which that might alter. So it might not be every Saturday, it will just usually be on Saturdays. And just as a bonus, there will be special streams every now and then, like for my birthday or a special anniversary or like Halloween, that sort of things. So stay tuned for those. One thing that did disappoint me a little bit was my World of Tanks video. I thought the video was pretty good, and plenty of you did as well, but there were a lot of comments that genuinely thought that it was a sponsored video, bought and paid for. First of all, you're supposed to say if it's a sponsored video. It's part of like the sort of terms and conditions with a YouTube video. You have to put somewhere that it's sponsored. I didn't, because it wasn't sponsored. So yeah, and even then, my channel has like 3,000 subscribers. It's not gonna. I don't think Wargame is gonna be reaching out to me to sponsor their video, and even if it was, the channel isn't monetized yet. So, yeah, checkmate. And it's World of Tanks. For those that know me, I played World of Tanks for longer than I played War Thunder. I started in about a year, or maybe just over a year before I got into War Thunder. So I've been playing since 2014, and people still think it was a bought and paid for video just because I was quite positive towards it. So there you go. There's just saltiness from probably the War Thunder players. Yeah, what can I say? But anyways, moving on. Let's check out some of your lovely comments from the last videos. So let me see. Maho Nishizumi War Thunder asks, well, they say, a little dumb idea, but you could try doing a challenge where you have to get 3 or 4 kills with every Spitfire. Well, there's some Spitfire gameplay in this video. And if you don't, you have to go back to a Spitfire. It says in ground battles. Oh no, in GB is in Great Britain. Okay, well yeah, that makes sense. If you don't, you have to go back to a Spitfire. That'll be quite a long video because I think, aside from the Spitfire 2A Venture 1, the rather boring premium, I'm pretty sure I have every British Spitfire, and that's got to be more than 20. I'm fairly sure there's more than 20 Spitfires there. So that's going to be quite a long video, but it could be an idea. It could be an idea. You can change the rules if you want, like reducing the number of kills using Spitfires in other nations, that sort of thing. I don't think we'll be doing that. Yeah, it's an idea. I do like playing the Spitfires, and I had a lot of fun in this Mark 5B, as you can see here. It's also Battle of Britain Day, as of uploading this, September the 15th, the quite an important date in RAF calendar. For those that don't know, Battle of Britain Day is obviously commemorating the Battle of Britain, but specifically September the 15th, because that is when fighting was at its most intense, with more than 1,500 aircraft being involved on a single day. So quite a big deal. It's also its 85th anniversary, so kind of appropriate that I am flying a Spitfire right now. Not one that was in the Battle of Britain, but still. Simon Blichar, or Blitchar, 1092, asked, could you try to grind the Swedish air tree as a challenge? See, I did actually reply to their comment via a comment of my own. It's, yeah, that's going to be interesting. As a challenge, what, you just want me to unlock the whole thing? Because that would take a while. That would take a very long time. I've hardly touched the Swedish tree at all. It's by far the least played nation for me. So, yeah, I don't know. Plus, I don't really have much that motivates me to do it, unfortunately. It's not really a challenge, it's just, yeah, I don't know. So, probably not, but maybe I'll play the Swedish in some form or another in the future. Sonic Rose 8430 wants to know, do you think it would be a fun experiment to have an event aircraft or something that's a non-militarized variant of an existing aircraft? For example, the P-51XR. Put it in War Thunder with weapons and see how it would do. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. First of all, there's plenty of vehicles in-game that just... Well, there's plenty of military vehicles that just aren't in-game, and I'd much rather than they prioritize adding those before adding, like, race planes, for example. Plus, the whole point of a plane like the P-51XR is, you know, it's been enhanced outside of the military scene after World War II, and it's had its guns and armor removed, and putting them back on would not make it a P-51XR. So it's kind of hard to see how that will work, because one of the reasons it has better performance, well, one, a lot of them have, like, really fancy, high-tech engines, maybe better streamlined design, smaller cockpit sort of thing, because, well, they're not having to look out for enemy fighters, and they don't have the additional weight of armor and guns and longer range. So yeah, I don't think that would work. It would not fit with the design of the plane, if that makes sense. Excalibur 9557 wants to know, what is the most fun and most frustrating rank and tier to play at? Well, most frustrating has got to be any of the ones towards the top. I mean, that's just a personal thing, because I'm pretty bad at it, as you guys know. But yeah, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that was a fairly universal thing. Some people do really like top tier, but no, not for me. I find it absolutely dreadful. So that would easily be the most frustrating one for me. Most fun tier would probably be, for me personally, rank 3 or 4. Now, some people like to say, like, bottom tier is the most fun, but I personally disagree. It's definitely easier, but at the same time, I feel like I'm just putting players off the game. You know, like the guy that's just been playing for half an hour, the last thing he needs is someone that's been playing for 10 years to come and jump them. It's not very fun for them. So yeah, I would say rank 3 or 4, something like that. I'm Alive WTM, maybe that's War Thunder Mobile, wants to know, what are you studying at university? I'm actually doing creative writing, so story writing stuff. And yes, as you probably could have guessed, a lot of them tend to be about planes or have planes in them of some kind. Some of them to quite good success, actually. So yeah, not too shabby so far. And then we're taking it a step further with a master's degree in the same thing. So hopefully it goes well. Swishy VFX says they're going to start posting on YouTube again. What's something you have learned that might help you grow faster as a content creator? Oh, okay. Well, this is just something that you notice. Well, you don't notice it at the time, but if you look back at your older videos, you can definitely see just a natural progression in confidence and quality of your videos. Like, maybe just over time, this is something that you can only do with time. You'd pick up new skills and maybe new editing techniques and ways of presenting. Like, if you'd compare some of the last video, or just even some of the videos I make now, compared to the very first videos I made on my original channel, which was literally just me recording gameplay and sort of mumbling throughout. My voice wasn't very good, it was quite quiet, there was basically no editing, it was pretty bad. And then you compare it to now, where there's a bit more effort going into it. So that's just something you naturally gain, but I suppose it doesn't really help you have views. Honestly, YouTube's a bit of a random one. I don't know if there is a guaranteed way to have more views. You could try putting in tags and hashtags and, you know, a cool thumbnail, but some of the best videos don't get watched at all. So, you know, not just saying that as a content creator, but a lot of people would, for example, stumble upon my channel and they would be like, oh my god, this video was amazing. How do you only have like 1,000 views? So it's, you know, it's pretty random. And then all of a sudden you could have a huge, amazing hit. Very few videos that I uploaded on this channel and the old channel were designed to be amazing hits. Obviously, you want every video to be successful, but things like my iceberg video, I uploaded that because I really wanted that to be a big hit, and it was. But then, like, you get other ones that are just random, just completely random. Like, on the old channel, there was a mods video, the craziest mods in War Thunder or something. It did pretty well. But then, like, a couple months later, and I kid you not, there was a span of time between uploading when this happened. It just exploded. Somehow, or for some reason, everybody just started watching this mods video, like, months after it got uploaded. I kid you not, the analytics, it was a massive spike on the graph. It jumped from, I don't know, about 100,000 views to, by the time the channel went down, so the video had been up for about maybe 6 months, I think. By the time the channel actually got closed down, it was up to over 400,000, which was insane. So, yeah, obviously none of these are really helping answer your question. What's something that you've learned that might help you grow faster? Well, you got to be confident, but you also got to be yourself. You know, you want to... don't fake it, that's for sure. It's very hard to fake excitement, and it's very soulless even if you can do it well. So just be honest, be natural, but also just try make it to each video to a standard that you think is good, and then eventually you'll start to grow, and then you'll, you know, create a little audience, a little fan base, which are always good. Obviously, my Discord and some people that I was in contact with, they were some of the first people that resubscribed to my new channel, and so having that audience was a nice way to get back off the ground. Goodness knows how few subscribers I would have if I didn't have that, if I never had like a social media for a channel or a Discord server. You know, when I lost the channel, if I had to start again, it would be very difficult, even harder than it already has been, to regain the subscriber base. So, yeah, it's very difficult to grow quickly. A lot of the time it is just a case of somehow, usually beyond your predictions, you become an overnight sensation and a lot of people subscribe. When I first made my original YouTube channel, there was a good few months before I had any really successful videos. Like, I was averaging about 100 views per video, which is pretty tragic. And then all of a sudden, I uploaded one around Christmas time. I think it was on the Yak 15, and that was my first big video, because it wasn't even that good of a video, but it got over 20,000 views. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And I think that's what allowed me to start monetizing it. And even when that happened, I wasn't earning that much. And then eventually, I think it was the Planes I Want in War Thunder, the original one, which eventually got 150,000 views. That definitely helped. And then the Iceberg video, and then the mods videos, and some of the top 5 videos, they really elevated the channel to where it was before it got shut down. So, yeah, we're trying to rebuild that again. Now, unfortunately, it's a one-man show with regards to my video makings. I do all the editings and recordings myself now. And we're still having trouble with trying to monetize it, but hopefully that will be fixed soon, and hopefully we can grow the channel to its former lofty heights, and fingers crossed we can do that. It's definitely growing a lot faster than it was the first time around, so that is a good thing. Fingers crossed. Can we hit 10k by the end of the year? Maybe. I'd have to make some top 5s and Iceberg videos for that to happen, but maybe it can happen. Who knows? Anyways, on with the next question. Delta Dart 157, very nice name. I see you've changed it officially now. Says, what's one non-vehicle related issue you'd fix with the game? Oh, this is a good question, because it's not going to be anything to do with battle ratings or, you know, balancing vehicles and things like that. I'm also going to ignore bomber related issues like durability, because that is, I guess, a vehicle related thing. Would it be something with the maps? I think more old maps. I think even though they're arguably less interesting to look at, they're a bit more featureless. I think some of the older maps, especially for air, are just better than the new ones. Like Spaceport is ugly and I don't like it. The one with the volcanoes is ugly and I don't like it. But you know, the old ones like Malta, for example, or Midway, you know, the old maps, they're just better. Cuban, they're all just nicer to play, if you ask me. I'd also say more water-based air maps, like set in the ocean somewhere. I used to get Norway, obviously it's part land, part water, but that was quite a fun one. There were a lot of Pacific maps, which almost never show up in the rotation, so I'd like to have more of that, please. That would be quite interesting. I don't know if that would be the one thing I'd choose, though. I don't know if that would be the highest priorities either. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. If you guys comment down what you would say is a non-vehicle related issue you'd fix with the game. What would be your choice? Karol Popuchnik, assuming I've pronounced that right, which I almost certainly haven't, wants to know, do you think War Thunder is going to change into Euro Truck Simulator after the update? I don't know what this is referring to. I assume it's the fact that there's yet another lorry-based SPAA getting added to top tier, and I don't know why. Well, they're doing this to try and make it fair for both sides. They're trying to counter the increasing number of very good air-to-ground vehicles at top tier. So they just keep adding more SPAAs, but it's the most boring addition ever. See, this is why War Thunder's dug themselves into a hole. They kept wanting to add more modern vehicles for some reason, and now this is the problem. Modern vehicles are especially designed to kill things without being killed in response, so it doesn't make for very good gameplay, and as a result, they've tried to fix this by just adding a crap ton of SPAAs every update, and every update you get multiple just big trucks with a long, tall thing, some kind of radar system and missiles, and it's not a very, they've got to be the least interesting vehicles. Like, it's a new dev blog, yay, it's another AA, oh, great. I mean, I don't really play AAs anyway. I'd rather, if I'm playing ground, I want to shoot at the other tanks. I don't want to just sit there waiting for an enemy plane to show up. It's not that interesting. Basher Bendorgate wants to know, what recording software do you use? I actually use NVIDIA GeForce Experience because it came with my computer. It's not the best, but it does the job. It sometimes has issues. Like, for example, sometimes in the past it just didn't want to open, or sometimes it would randomly stop recording. These don't usually happen, by the way, in case you're worried about getting it yourself. I don't know how you actually install it, though. I just figured out that I had it on my computer, so there's that. And then I edit it with DaVinci Resolve, which I couldn't recommend enough. DaVinci Resolve is absolutely fantastic. There is a paid version, but I have the free one, and I genuinely don't know what the paid one actually offers, because the free one seems to be able to do anything. It's good. It is very good. As for recording software, it's quite a basic thing. It's more just like a game capture sort of thing. You can record desktops on it, but yeah, it's quite a basic thing, and they just fiddle around with the editing. It's not perfect, but it does the job. Maho and War Thunder wants to know, what's your ringtone? Well, as many people in my family will know, my ringtone is, well, my phone is usually on silent, because I don't want to be that guy in class who has their phone go off. It's very embarrassing, so I almost never have my ringtone actually on. But when I did, it used to vary. At one point, it was a jingle from Girls and Panzer. It was one of the Girls and Panzer marches, I think. And then I think my text tone is a sample of Sanji's theme from One Piece, I think. So there you go. But it's almost never on. I think it's probably just the default one at the moment, so that's quite boring. As for alarms, I used to have a lot more interesting alarms. It used to be the song 9 to 5, because obviously. And then it was, for quite a while, it was the Soviet Union anthem. Yes, we've all done it at one point. For quite at least 2 years straight, my main alarm was just the anthem of the USSR. I know. I don't know what it is now, but now you know. Batcher MB asks, are you into politics? Well, we tried to keep this channel politics free, and the Discord server, even though it doesn't always happen. Many issues have occurred over that one. No, I'm not into politics. I used to find it boring as hell. Boring as sin when I was younger. Like, it used to be the grown topic. Like, when you're in high school and someone brings up politics, everyone just groans and tries to move on. Now, it seems that a lot more people are into it and they want to share their opinions. The problem is, everyone's got an opinion and they usually rub the wrong way, and you know, sometimes a lot of people disagree with each other. That's all I'm going to say. So I try to avoid the discussion entirely, and I can't stand when a lot of people just make it their whole personality, just the side they support, like that's all they seem to care about and talk about. It's very boring. It's not an interesting personality to have. So we'll go with no. I'm not into politics. Also, holy crap, it's raining like hell right now. Like, it's just start properly chucking it down. Basher Bendorg 8 has another question. You get to add one sub-variant of an aircraft series already in-game. What are you adding? Oh, God, this is just one? There's so many. I was actually thinking about it earlier today. I would say the Spitfire Mark 12, the first of the Griffin variants. I believe there's just a Mark 5 airframe. A lot of them tend to have clip wings, but with a Griffin engine, and so it looks better and sounds better. Also, when you had a 4-bladed propeller, these were actually introduced as early as 1942, which I didn't realize. So that's kind of insane. Wow, that's very windy and very rainy right now. Like, the trees are going haywire. They're properly dancing. back to the Spitfire. Very nice variant, quite a forgotten variant. Apparently the nicest handling variant, according to several test pilots, which is a surprise. So take that, Merlin purists. But there's so many you could think of, really. Would the B-50 count as a sub-variant of an aircraft series? It's like a modified version of a B-29, maybe? There's so many choices, though. Honestly, I could go on for quite a while with that one. Tommy B asked, what is your favourite modern jet? So having to pick one of the things I don't... Well, it's not that I don't like modern jets, it's just I don't... I think War Thunder's just left them in a sour taste in my mouth. Even so, like in real life, if I was given the option of, I don't know, going to a museum and seeing an F-15 or an F-86, I'd rather see the F-86. But favourite modern jet? Ooh, God. I genuinely don't know. I don't know if I have a single, like, you know, can pick out a modern fighter jet as a favourite. Maybe the F-35. That's quite a basic choice, but a lot of people slander the F-35 and they choose the F-22 instead. So I'm going to say the F-35 just to be different. Patcher MB also has a thing saying, what is your opinion on this suggestion? It's something from the War Thunder forum suggesting nation folders for subtrees. Basically, I think from what I've gathered, you could click on your nation, for example, France, and then that would open up a folder with Luxembourg, Netherlands, and Belgium, which basically removes the issue of players saying that other nations get in the way of their grinding. For example, usually because they have boring copy-paste vehicles. So, for example, if you're playing, I don't know, Italy, which has the Hungarian tree inside of it, and then you hit a point where you're like, this is just a Soviet Tu-2 and... you know, a Yak-9. I don't want to play the Soviet Tu-2 and Yak-9 in the Hungarian tree because I've already got them for the Russian tree. So then you can click on this folder and then you'd go to the... It would take you to a Hungarian-only section of the tech tree. So you can just skip them entirely. Honestly, I don't think this is necessary. I just personally wish they hadn't done these subtrees in the way they have anyway. They're a complete waste of time and just uninspired content. So I don't think that would really fix the issue. It might make it slightly more... I don't know. Well, what's the point in adding them if you have the option to skip them altogether? I think that's my argument. Delta Dart also asks, hypothetically, one tech tree is getting axed altogether. What tech tree would you say needs to go / offers nothing useful to the game? Oh, God. China. For the longest time, I would have said China because... But they do have a lot of their own unique top-tier vehicles. Israel... They could have done a lot more with the Israeli tree, but they've made it thoroughly boring. How many Megax do you need? And most of the tech tree for the air side is just copy-paste. I don't know why they added Israel, to be honest. You could add... I've seen user-made tech trees of very interesting-looking Israeli tech trees, and War Thunder's just not done that at all. So, yeah. Probably that one. Personally, if you're allowing it, I would remove subtrees. Thailand for Japan, waste of time, not interesting at all, nothing new. And I would say that for almost all of them. Douglas MacArthur asks, hey Snazzy, who is your favourite general or soldier on the American side? British, French, etc. Choose 5 for each category. I don't know if I can think of... Well, I probably could given time. Actually, I can't think of 5 French generals. I can think of Ferdinand Foch and... I guess de Gaulle was a general at some point. And why you like them and why... I'm not going to pick 5. I'm just going to pick 1 for each, actually. I do like MacArthur. He's received some controversy, but, you know, what general hasn't? MacArthur, would he be my choice for the US, though? I don't know. Chester Nimitz, I guess. Nimitz, the American admiral. I think Montgomery is a bit overhated. I think a lot of people pick on him just because Market Garden didn't go well. I mean, he wasn't the best. He was probably overrated at the same time, but overhated, come on. He's not that bad. And, oh gosh, what's the name of Andrew Cunningham, the Royal Navy Admiral? And I'm forgetting his name. Someone will have to comment his name. The British general that was in charge of the... army in Burma. I can't remember his name, unfortunately, but it was an absolute legend, and his achievements are severely underappreciated. With, you know, given his situation and what he actually managed to accomplish. Yeah, I thoroughly recommend anyone checks him out. And someone please tell me his name in the comments. Xavier asks, should Pakistan be a subtree like Taiwan or replace the Taiwan subtree for China instead? Well, Taiwan's not really... well, that's quite a big amount of vehicles, the Taiwanese. And it's a political thing, but Taiwan and China have a lot more in common than Pakistan and China. I still think that's kind of an odd pairing. But, yeah, there's a lot of Taiwanese vehicles in the Chinese tech tree, and you're going to make the Chinese tree probably, I don't know, a third smaller by removing Taiwan. Would you really want to do that? And there's almost certainly not enough Pakistani vehicles to replace them. So, probably not. This is the problem. Like, another issue with the subtrees is, like, Japan has a subtree, and War Thunder had to choose really careful as to which country would get lumped with Japan, and eventually they landed on Thailand, which I guess was the least offensive one. A lot of people were suggesting Korea goes to Japan. I don't know why. I guess because they're both in East Asia and they're near each other. I don't know. But no. I don't think we should have any more subtrees. Please, just stop. If your nation's not big enough to have a full tree, it shouldn't be in the game, because then it just gets filled in with so many copy-pastes. Like, we don't need another nation whose top-tier vehicle is an F-16. Please. But yeah, it was quite funny that people were suggesting Korea to go with Japan. They were genuinely surprised when I said that wasn't a good idea. And then I told them, you know, Koreans don't really like Japan after World War II. You know that, right? Neither does China. So, so yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a sticky situation. This is why subtrees, it's just created a massive load of problems that Gaijin is mostly ignoring. You know, just as one example, lack of interesting vehicles, but also geopolitical controversies for that matter. Anyways, that's going to round up the questions for now. Stay tuned on the channel for more upcoming videos. Hopefully I'll do a video on the user-made tech trees that I've done, because I did have like a 4-hour video or 3-hour video on the old channel where I just went through every plane in the tree, and a lot of people want to see me do that again, so I could do that. So stay tuned. If of course this is Snazzy Comments video, so do comment stuff. It doesn't have to be a question, it doesn't have to be about War Thunder either. Just comment stuff down below that you want me to talk about in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe for more, check out other videos on the channel, and of course hit the bell to stay notified. It really helps the channel out. And of course, I'll catch you all in the next one.